Hi, I'm Laura Cook and this is my final assignment for AIPT. I've organised a session ahead of time, I'm well prepared. I've chosen a quiet time at the gym to do this today. I've checked with those who are in the gym that they're not going to be needing the equipment that I'm going to be using. I've pre-organised a session with my client who's going to be here in a moment, and I've checked, tested and prepared all the equipment to make sure it's ready and working and available for what I need today. I've also ensured there are no hazards in the training area. Okay, let's go greet Shane. Hi Shane, I'm Laura. I'm going to be your personal trainer for today. Okay, so you've worked out with a personal trainer before, have you?
Yep.
Okay, so you know what to expect. I've had a little look at the pre-training questionnaire that you've filled out for me here. You've told me that you learn best when exercises are demonstrated for you rather than explained, so we'll make sure we do some of that today and so that everything's really clear. I've had a look through. You have told me that your goals today, or with the PT, are to lose a little bit of weight, to work on your chest and core area, and you want to work up to some middle distance running as well. Okay, so we can definitely look at including ways of working up to that. No high blood pressure, no high cholesterol, blood sugar, like I've said here. No muscle, bone or joint pain that's particularly aggravated by any exercise. No. You don't feel faint or have any issues of dizziness when you're working out. No. Okay. No diabetes.
No.
Yep. Alright, and we've previously done a blood pressure check and that's all fine. Your BMI we've checked. Okay, so no medical clearance is required for today. We can go and get started.
Fantastic.
Good. Okay, so in today's session we're going to start off with a fitness test. What we're then going to do is work through a chest, back and leg strength exercise. After that we're going to do a couple of exercises that are designed for special populations, which you're not, but I'm going to demonstrate them anyway. Then I'm going to do some boxing with you, some cardio, and we're going to finish off with a good stretch. Okay?
Sounds good.
Alright. Okay, today we're going to be doing a fitness test called the 1 minute crunch test. So essentially I'm going to time you for 60 seconds and you're going to do as many crunches as you can for me. Okay, this is really going to test your abdominal muscular strength and the endurance of your abs and your hip flexors. Alright, they're really important in having back stability, core stability, all the things that basically work for you when you're doing any kind of exercise. So they're your foundational muscles. Alright, so you've listed previously that your core and tummy area are areas you'd like to work on. Okay, so this is a really good place to start. What we're going to do is then do the exercise and then look at where you rank in terms of the norms for people who have done this test before. Alright, so what I'm going to get you to do, you will have done a crunch before, but I'm just going to demonstrate it. You're going to lie down on your back for me. Your legs, your feet firmly on the ground. You're going to slide your hands from your thighs up to the top of your knees, and that's a crunch. Okay, we're going to do as many of those as we can in 60 seconds. Sound alright?
Sounds good.
Alright, just going to time you. Are you ready to start?
Ready.
And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try and let the whole body go down. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Halfway. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and stop. Alright, you got 55 for that, which puts you in the excellent category of doing over 45. Okay? What I did notice though, with that form in that, you came up onto your heels rather than keeping your feet flat on the ground. You didn't actually get your upper body, the head and your shoulders onto the ground. You kind of kept them moved up and you were jerking a little bit. But that's fine, we can work on that. It does show that you have really good core strength to begin with though.
Sure.
Okay? Next up, we're going to do a chest exercise, which you've also mentioned as an area that you want to work on. So what we're going to do is some body weight push-ups. Okay, that's going to work on your pectoral muscles as well as your anterior deltoids. It's going to get your triceps involved a little bit, and as well as that core that's going to be stabilising you. So it's a good all-over workout.
Okay.
You'll have done push-ups before. I'm just going to demonstrate it for you here. Okay, we want to do toe push-ups rather than on your knees. Have you done those before?
Yes.
Yep, so military style. What I want is your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I want the body in one big long straight line. I don't want to see any hips diving or bums up in the air. Okay, we want to be straight. We want to then just get our chest down to the ground and then shoot back up, back into that perfect plank position. Okay? We're going to just do 10 of those, one set of 10 reps.
Okay.
Keep that core tight, remember.
In a particular time or just?
No, just do your 10. Remember, breathe out on the exertion as you're coming back up. That's a good way to do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. It's good. Something I've noticed there is that you do tend to sort of lead with your head a little bit rather than your chest. But we can work on that. There might be some neck muscle issues or something going on there.
Okay.
That's fine. Well done. Okay, Shane, next we're going to do a back exercise. Today it's got the bent over row. This is a really good pulling exercise that'll complement the push-up that we just did, the pushing exercise, the movement of that. Now, normally I'd work out what your 1 RM is with this, so your 1 rep maximum. Today we're just going to work on form and make sure that you're actually getting the movements right before we start worrying too much about the weight. So we're going to use a barbell here that's 20 kilos. I want you to have quite a solid stance here. Your feet maybe a little more than that hip width apart, maybe slightly wider. You're going to keep your elbows in nice and narrow, and I want you to basically push your bum back so that your back is staying nice and long there. There's no curvature of the spine, there's no arching of the back happening. Okay? Your hands are going to be down to your knees here, and you're going to row your elbows up and high towards your ribs. Alright? So that's 1. 2. We're again going to just do 1 set of 10 for that, and see how you go from there. Okay? Just move out of your way, sorry. Yep.
Back okay?
Might get you to just come slightly chest up a bit higher. Great. Okay? Don't lock your knees out. You can slightly less bent a little. Yeah, that's good. Okay. 1, 2. Yep, full extension of the arms at the end of the movement. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. How did that feel?
Good.
Yep, you think we could eventually go heavier on that?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, let's move on. Okay, so now we're going to do a leg exercise. The best of all leg exercises, in my opinion, the squat. Okay, we're going to use a barbell. What we're going to do is put it on the meaty part of our back. It's going to go a little bit lower than that lump that comes out there, C7. You don't want it sitting right on that, that's going to bruise. So we're going to be putting it a little bit lower there.
Okay.
What's really important about squatting before we begin is that we have our knees always tracking over our toes. So you can see that my knees are going directly over the top of my feet and toes. The wider you get, the more important that is. So the more you need to basically externally rotate your feet. We're going to start with quite a narrow squat today. I'm going to demonstrate. Carefully put this up and over onto the meaty part of your back. Again, I just want to make sure that you get the correct form and depth of the squat today, so I'm not worrying too much about piling weight on. This is our 20 kilos. Got a fairly narrow stance there, about hip width apart. Going down, keeping the chest as high as you can, going deep into that squat, getting to about a 90-degree angle with the knees, with the legs, and then powering back up. I like to count to basically 4 on the way down and 1 up. Okay? So
Just
slowly down and then drive up. Slowly down, drive up. 10 of those for me. missing your bum?
I think so.
Yep, that's good. Does that feel okay? You're slightly off. There you go. Okay, slightly externally rotate those toes. Yep, really good. 1, great. Chest high and proud. 2. You can slow it down a little bit. 4, that's excellent, Shane. Good work. 5. 6. 7, 3, 4. 3 more. 8. 9. Last one. Now, are you right to get that down, or do you want a hand? Okay, we're still looking at special populations here. Have you ever had lower back pain before? No? Okay. Well, this one's for people with lower back pain. It's a variation on a standard crunch. Now, the crunch that we were doing before, that kind of sit-up, that would just cause too much pressure and maybe exacerbate the lumbar area with pain if people had a lower back pain already to begin with. So we're going to do a modification which bizarrely is on all fours rather than on your back. Okay? So what I'm going to do is demonstrate here, get down on all fours. Hands are shoulder width apart. Now what's really important here is that your core is super switched on, because as soon as you start arching your back and moving around there, you're losing the control and the working of the transverse abdominis, which is what we're trying to work on here. Okay, so holding that core switched on here, I want you to raise one arm to about your head height there, and then bring it back down again. Move to the other arm, keeping all of this in alignment. So try not to switch around too much over the hips. Okay, if you find that's feeling okay, what I'm going to get you to do then is lift one leg at a time. Doesn't have to be too high, just keeping that core on. Other leg. And then once again, if you find that you're okay with that, you can do alternating arms and legs. See, I'm shaking a little bit there, so see how you go. And that's the variation on the crunch for somebody with lower back pain. Give it a go for me.
Sure. So the arm first?
Begin with your arms, yep. And the other arm. How does that feel?
Okay.
Yep, you feel sturdy? Stable? Okay.
A bit shaky.
A bit shaky. Now just try all of the legs for me all the time. Yep, it doesn't even need to go quite that high with the foot. You can go a little lower, just try and keep it straight. Yeah, that's good. And try the alternating for me.
So left arm.
Left arm, right leg. Great. And the opposite. Really good. So if you ever find you do have a bit of back pain, a bit of twinging in your lower back, you can always give this a go. Okay. Alright, so now it's cardio time. We're going to do a bit of a cardio workout, starting on the treadmill. I'm going to assume you've used one of these before. Most people have, yeah? Okay. Now, the way that you approach a treadmill is sort of the way you approach any other piece of equipment. First you work out what your goals are, and then you work out how you're going to use it to work in with what you want to achieve. So you've told me you want to work on some middle distance running. Maybe work up to, what, like a 10k fun run, that kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay. So today we're not going to do any sprinting or anything like that. We're going to look at just maintaining a steadier speed and then perhaps working up to some interval training as we go along. Just a few minutes today though, okay?
Sure.
Alright, so how I'm going to get you to start, I'm going to get you to stand on either side here of the non-moving part of the treadmill. I want you to be familiar with this. This is your safety clip. Okay, but any time you're feeling faint or that you just need to stop immediately, you can pull that off and that's going to stop you, alright? What you've got here, this is your incline and your decline. Okay, that's going to really increase the resistance of what you're doing. It's basically going to incline the treadmill. So you're working up against a hill, that's right. Here's your speed, up and down. Now the best way to generally start with these things is with the quick start mode. This one doesn't seem to have one of those, so I'm just going to get you to hit start there. And then just increase your speed. We're going to start with 1 minute walking, so maybe look at 6. We're going to put you on 6. And then we'll look at getting you to run for about 3 minutes, maybe looking at 9 or 10. I think you'd be alright to begin with, but we'll see how you go.
Okay.
Okay? So hop on for me and press that start button. Now you can step on. Great.
6, would you say?
Let's try that to begin with, yep. How's that speed for walking? It's good for a warm-up? Okay, great. Just do a minute there. So here, this is going to show you where your incline's at. This is the distance that you've achieved as you go along. That's your time countdown, obviously. Here's going to tell you how many calories you've burnt. You've only done 38 seconds. You'll be working on that. Here's your speed. And here's a whole lot of pre-programmed options for the programs that you can do. It's going to increase and decrease your speed and incline automatically. So it gives you a bit of variety as you're going. Alright, we're nearly at 1 minute there, so I'm going to get you up and running here. Tell me how you're feeling. That's 9. How does that feel? Yeah? You can maintain that for a few minutes? Okay. So do you do much running at the moment? No? So what's the goal of the 10K?
Fitness, I think.
Yeah? This is a personal achievement to tick off the list?
Across the finish line.
Yeah? That'll be a great feeling, hey? Oh, where are we going up to? 9.5. Obviously, the more you go on, the more you're going to feel your heart rate going up. You're going to start to get a bit warmer and perhaps sweat a little bit. All this is completely normal with cardio. But if you feel any shortness of breath, like it is not comfortable, I want you to let me know, okay? You're doing really well. That's good form. Spent much time in the gym before? No? Well, how do you feel about a gym? Is that kind of something you're comfortable with, or are you more of an outdoor person?
More outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't like gym people.
Okay, fair enough. Well, maybe we can look at some kind of boot camp or, running group, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Working. About another 30 seconds or so. Had plenty of water today?
Yeah.
That's good. Always important to keep hydrated. Alright, so we might bring it back down to about the 5 again. 5.5, 6. Get you to walk for a minute to cool down. How are you feeling? Alright, just need to times that by 10 next time, hey? Really test you.
Is it better off going faster or longer?
Well, it really depends, once again, what you're trying to achieve. I think for your purpose it's longer. Because, if you haven't run a 10K before, you really need to hold something in the tank to be able to get through it. You need that stamina and endurance. So slowing down, but continuing through for the whole 10Ks, which, however long that's going to take you, that's the goal, rather than burning all of it out really quickly. Okay, so that's enough time. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to get you to bring that down, slow it down to a stop, and then step out onto the non-moving sides again for me, the way that you began, and then we'll jump off safely. Yeah, that's great. Alright, so for the next piece of cardio, we're going to work on the elliptical cross trainer. Now, this is a really great piece of equipment because you're moving upper body and lower body at once. It's a full body workout. It's also really good because it's non-impact. You're not jarring the body. It's really quite gentle for you as you're going. So it's great for a lot of people with joint issues, injuries, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Alright, so with this, once again, you've got your resistance here, up and down. You've got your quick start button. Here you've got, they're also on here as well, but you've got something that monitors your heart rate there. So you'll see your heart rate will be displayed up here as well as your distance, your calories, your average speed, all the data in there. This one as well has a whole lot of great programs. Now, interval training is basically the best way to increase your cardiovascular fitness. So I actually find that you're doing some of the interval programs here a little bit more interesting because you're not just staying on the same manual program the whole time, which can get a bit boring over 10-15 minutes, let's be honest. So a little bit of variety where you're going harder and then easier, that's actually really good. But today we're just going to do a couple of minutes. Sorry. Pop your legs in here. That's not actually going to turn on until we start moving. Your hand, your arms and your legs, they move at the same time. What you can actually do though, is just go with the legs if you need to. If you're just going with the arms, it's going to basically make the legs move and that's not really going to work anyway. So you're always keeping the legs moving. The arms are an optional, but it is really good to do. Okay, here's a quick start here. We're going to work you up to maybe, what do you reckon, level 10 we'll try, see how you go. Obviously the higher the resistance here, the more your body's going to work. The harder it's going to have to work, the more energy you're going to burn, the fitter you're eventually going to get. So what we want to do is eventually increase the resistance, but today we're just going to start and get you familiar with it, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so if you want to jump on there, start it moving for me and press quick start. Okay, so that's beginning you on level 3. How about you increase the level a bit? How does that feel at 10?
Feels okay.
Yeah, not too hard?
It's hard, but it's okay.
Okay, what we're going to try and do is a few minutes on there like we did with the treadmill. See, it's quite a smooth movement, isn't it? You're not actually banging and jarring your body. It's very good for your joints.
Yeah. Should I be aiming for a certain speed or it doesn't matter?
To begin with, we're not going to worry about that. Okay, next session we're going to look at it. We can look at including some sprints, looking at the interval programs, that kind of thing. Let's just get you comfortable on there. Feeling warm?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to work. I think after this we're going to look at doing a bit of boxing. Have you done any boxing before?
A bit, yeah.
A bit? That's great. Alright. Okay, we're at 1.5 minutes. Let's give it another 1.5 minutes to get it to 3 minutes. To give your arms a break, remember you've got this option down here. Makes it a little bit easier. Maybe do 10 seconds off and then go back to it. So you've been up to much this weekend?
No, quiet weekend.
Yeah, it's always good. Thinking about keeping your core strong as you're doing it as well, not arching your back. Yeah, very good. You can see there's a little bit of sweat forming on your forehead too, so that's what we want to see. That's excellent.
Humid day doesn't help.
It doesn't help. Okay, so we're at 3 minutes. You want to just ease it down to a less resistance there. Have a bit of a cool down.
Makes a big difference.
It does, doesn't it? You can see how all the lights that light up here, that shows you how hard you were working. That's level 10, going down to level 6. It's almost half. Okay, so that's going to stop when you stop. The movement will stop as soon as you do, that's right. And I'll just get you to hop off there for me. Great, let's go do some boxing. Okay, so you've said to me that you like to exercise outside, so why don't we get a bit of a change of scenery and we're going to do some boxing outside today. So I'm going to be wearing the pads, you're going to be wearing the gloves. What we're going to do is run through about 20 reps of each move. First we're going to start with a jab cross. So you left-handed or right-handed?
Right.
Right-handed. So yep, left foot forward. This is called the orthodox stance. Left foot forward, right foot back. And you've got your guard up to protect your face at all times. The jab cross, you're jabbing first with your left hand, and then crossing over with your right, and then returning to your serves. Okay, just do that for me. Again. Great. All right, then we're going to move on to one, we're going to do 20 of those, and move on to one called uppercuts. Have you heard of them before? Yep. All right, so it's just, I'm going to be holding the pads up, and you're going to be hitting them underneath like that. Yep, bringing the power up. Really good. We're going to then do what's called hooks. So that's going to be, again, you're in your fighting stance with your guard up, bringing the left arm across first, and then the right arm across as well. So it's like a big hook across as though you're going to grab someone's face.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Let's just start with that. You're going to pop on the pads, the gloves, I'll pop on the pads. And I want you to do 20. So 1, 2 is 1 in the jab cross. Get a stance, yep, and go. 1, 2, 3, good power. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20. Really good, you nearly knocked me over there. Alright, so with uppercuts, I'm going to be holding the pads like this. And you're going to be coming up and under hard. How does that
Just
height
on the
feel?
same one?
Yep. How does that height feel?
Good.
Okay. Come on. You're too strong for me on that one. Alright, so with hooks, I'm going to be holding the pads out here each side. Alright, so you're going to be moving across to the opposite pad with the hook. 1, really good, that's great. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to get you to sit on the ground. I'm going to come around and stand behind you. You can either cross your legs or have them out like that, whatever's more comfortable. I'm going to be holding the pads above you here, and I want you to just be constantly punching upwards, like you've got pistons there. I don't want to see your elbows coming out to the side here, keeping them in nice and close and tight, and as hard as you can, as much power. I'm going to do 20. Elbows in. Very good. Okay, I think that's going to do for our boxing today. Let's go and do some stretches.
Okay.
Now it's really important after any workout that you give yourself a good stretch. Alright, the purposes of today, we're just going to stretch 2 muscle groups for this video, but normally you'd want to stretch everything. Right? Give yourself a good full body stretch and then hopefully avoid a little bit of pain the next day or the day after. So you've done a bit of running, you've done a bit of boxing, that kind of thing. You're going to be really feeling it in your quads. So what we're going to do is a quad stretch. Now I want you to stand legs together. If you want to, you can hold on to something like a wall or a chair if you need some stability. I'm going to get you to pull your right leg back, hold it with your right hand. You can increase the stretch by sort of pushing back a little bit with your leg, that's right. And I want you to hold that for about 20 seconds. And then we're going to switch to the other leg. You feeling that? Yep, that's great. It's a good feeling. Alright, switch to the left. You're probably more stable on one leg than the other. Well, I find I am anyway. Some people say holding onto your earlobe helps give you balance. I'm yet to be convinced. Pulling it into your right. Very good. Alright, next we're going to do pecs. So with those push-ups, you're definitely going to be feeling it in your pecs here, in your chest. So what I'm going to get you to do is go up against the wall. What I want you to always think about when you're stretching is stretching both pec major and pec minor. Two muscles that work in together. Pec major is the bigger muscle, and so I'm going to get you to come up against the wall here. Basically, standing against the wall and pushing away from it. Sorry, coming over, pushing away from it, and really into your chest there. How does that? Are you feeling it in here? Yeah, perfect. If you need to, you can adjust the angle a little bit as it feels good, up and down, move that around a little bit. And to work on pec minor, which is a smaller muscle, no less important, you're definitely going to feel pain in that. We're going to look at having a 90-degree angle on our arm, split stance here, and then that's for stability, and then pushing your head forward as though it's in a little bit of a nosedive action. So, you feeling that different spot from before? Yeah, great. And then you've done that for about 20 to 30 seconds, switch to the other arm. A lot of people overlook the stretching, but I can't tell you how important it is. Now this one, you can also do, if you don't have a wall, you can also, but you do have a partner there, you can do it as a partner stretch. So if I were to do this, push away from each other. And again, you're too strong for me. Or up high like this as well. Great. Alright, well that's you done for today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you
did
very
really,
much.
really well.
Thank you.